Shalom. Allah start out by giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's pushing this truth across four corners of the earth in all faith, truth, and sincerity. This I'm a Bob back again in the city. Just want to go into real quick how the Lord Yahushua, he's going to judge this place, America, Babylon the Great. He's going to destroy it. Lord Yahushua, Lord Yahushua, who y'all call Jebus. Lord Yahushua is going to return in the chariots, call your foe, and bring his judgments down upon this place, America, Babylon the Great, by way of the thermonuclear missiles, which is going to destroy America, Babylon the Great completely. So I'm going to get into it. This is Zephaniah 3:1. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. So woe means destruction to her. So who's that her talking about? It's talking about right there, talking about America, Babylon the Great. It's talking about this place here, America, Babylon the Great, it's filthy and polluted. Like I say, this place is, it's like I say, it's filthy, polluted. It's like I said, the food, the water, and the people who are polluted, with their philosophies, with the lies and deceptions, that this so-called white man Esau, my devils, has pushed on the people, so the people's minds are polluted, with with the wickedness, of this world. They think that, it's okay for you to have sexual relations or whatever with a man on man or woman on woman. That's not, that's not, it's a unrighteous act, and I said, Lord Yahushua not with that, according to the Bible, Lord Yahweh Shai, according to the Bible, word of the Bible, the word of the Lord, the Bible, is against that. It's against the mole, against that mole, it's against that. He ain't with that mole. They push that mole agenda, that what America push, what these wicked Edomite devils push, that's in power. So-called white people, red Edomite devils, and that's why the Lord Yahushua going to destroy this place, Like I said, the food, the water, air's messed up. They're messing with the food, the water, and so forth, man. They just, that's why the Lord Yahushua going to return, Lord Yahushua going to turn in the chariot, so-called your foe, and destroy this place, America, Babylon Great, and then ultimately, like I said, the thermonuclear missiles. But like I said, in this place, America, Babylon the Great, it's oppressing. Like I said, this is an oppressing city. This is oppressing. It's oppressing the so-called Negro, Latino natives, which are Israelites, And like I said, the Lord Yahushua is going to return and deliver his elect of the so-called Negro, Latino native Israelites, because you have 2/3 Israelites that they'll rather be okay and sell out to the system and be hand to hand with the so-called white man Esau, my devils, and deal with the crumbs and deal with the getting kicked around by the Edomite with a not a steel toe boot, but a soft boot or whatever, he'd take these crumbs and whatever, and deal with it. Shut up, and what I'm saying, you do as we tell you to, they rather be like that, they'd rather be under white daddy because they don't want to give up the ways of the world, the wickedness. They they want to keep doing what they doing, but the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino Israelites, they getting tired of this wicked devil and his oppressive and unrighteous decrees and laws and so forth. They push out, man. The elect of Israel are ready for the so-called white man Esau, my devils, to go down, and ready for the Lord Yahushua return. But 2/3 Israelites, they don't give a damn. They rather keep part of that bullshit and be in the ways of the world, excuse me, which is that 2/3 Israelites keep on they stay in his ways of the world. They're gonna be destroyed. Royal Shah gonna destroy them. Gonna destroy 2/3. Israelites. Gonna bring judgment down now and when he returns in the chariot so called UFO. But I'll go from there. I go to Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." You know, so you had apostles and the elders of the Brother Great Millstone telling you so-called Negro, Latino, natives, which are the Israelites, to get right with Lord Yahushua. Come out of the ways of the world, come out the mind frame of this world. Or be destroyed by Lord Yahushua. And be not partakers of the sins and receive not her plagues. So the Lord Yahweh gonna bring the plagues upon this place. Famine, lack of food, drought. Lack of resources and so forth, man. And ultimately, like I said, Lord Yahweh gonna send those thermonuclear missiles raining down upon America, Babylon the Great. And destroy everything that you see here. But next verse, Revelation 18:5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High Yahweh Yahushua have remember her iniquities. So the Most High Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, Most High Yahweh, who y'all call God, that's the Most High name, Yahweh. You have the Son name is who y'all call Jewa's name is Yahushua. So Yahweh Yahushua, remembers the iniquities, remembers all the rape, rob, murders, and all the wickedness that the so-called white people, Esau and Mighty Devils has pushed and so forth, has done, all the lies and deceptions they pushed out there, man. Lord Yahushua knows it all, man. He ain't forget. They ain't forget nothing, So Lord Yahushua gonna, deal with these wicked Edomite devils, and bring them down out of their power seat and destroy them. And destroy America, Babylon the Great. But go from there. And go to Revelation 18:7. Revelation 18:7. How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So America, Babylon the Great has not seen no real war and nothing, no real tragedies, And like I say, 9/11, that was an inside job, That wasn't, just Afghanistan, Al-Qaeda, what you want to say, right? They just say, oh, let's just randomly, let's destroy this building, whatever, and so forth like that. No, they didn't. That was an inside job. That was more than just them, coming up with, that was an inside job, basically, right? But America, Babylon the Great has not seen no real tragedy or war. Has not really touched this place. Ain't no bombs been dropped here, built, and a whole bunch of cities and buildings being bombed and so forth like that. That hasn't happened, but it's going to. And this place, Loyal Shy, these people in America, Babylon the Great, they just they just don't have a clue how bad, it's gonna get here in America by Babylon the Great. It's gonna get real bad and ugly. It's gonna be horrific judgments that the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahshua is gonna bring down upon this place, America, Babylon the Great. And the destruction. A lot of death and destruction is coming to this place. Soon to come. But so I didn't want to make this too long, so I'll end off of this. Revelation 18:8. Therefore shall plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. You know, so one day, you know, these players gonna come. You know, there's gonna come a time where, hey, you know, a lot of, one day a lot of death from mourning, famine, and you know, and then ultimately, Loyal Shah will return in the chariot, so-called UFO. You know, with the angels, and then ultimately, you know, he's gonna, send those thermonuclear missiles to be shot down upon America, Babylon the Great, and everything you see are gonna be this place, America, Babylon the Great, gonna be utterly burned and destroyed, man. Ain't gonna be none left here, man. You know. You know what I'm saying, man? And like I say, it's gonna like I said, one day is like, things just, dramatically it's gonna change America, Babylon the Great. You know, it's gonna become a time, like I say, there's gonna be a lot of death, a lot of people mourning, and a lot of, people just dying, man. Like I say, before Loyal Shah returns, there's gonna be a lot of chaos and turmoil happening in America, Babylon the Great. And we in those times now. We in the beginning of it, but it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get way worse. And like I say, and then like I say, this place is gonna be, Loyal Shah gonna return and, destroy this place, America, Babylon the Great. With the like I say, with the chariot, so-called UFO, the laser beams, and ultimately the thermonuclear missiles. Is what gonna completely just utterly burn and destroy everything you see here in America, and gonna utterly burn and see. Gonna utterly burn. Excuse me. Everything that you see here gonna be utterly burnt up and destroyed here in America, Babylon the Great. So I didn't want to make this too long. So again, hope this was edifying. I like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakadash, to the Pulse Elders, to the Sisakin brothers, to the few Akwaf sisters that do listen.